about Charlotte Swamp. She is the Métis wife of David Thompson, who spoke 4 languages to help him navigate through and chart this area. We need everybody here to start advocating for an education policy from a kindergarten all the way to grade 12 nationally that honors our Indigenous history. We need all people to teach that racism must end. And lastly, we need to honor the treaties from the Indigenous perspective. Constitution.
Thank you, Michelle. Ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned before, this exhibition talked about $72,000 to bring together to buy the rights to these photos, and we're hoping to tour it in the rest of the Canadian cities. So volunteers will be handing out some donation cards. If you'd like, please support this exhibition. We're only able to host it here in Calgary because of your donations and donations of many others across Canada. In ending, I'd like to just mention how this exhibition is set up in the room and outside, for those of you who haven't had a chance to look at it yet. Outside there is the South African section, and it's all done in chronological order. Volunteers will be available outside and inside the room to let you know how to tour it best, to be able to get the entire picture from each section of it. The Palestinian section starts right in here with that photo right at the back. So to the right as you're coming into the room, and it tours all the way around to the section here. And then the First Nations section starts at that end and goes all the way to the other set of doors. So the best way to go about reading this exhibition is to do it in order, because it's going to make a lot more sense chronologically. You're welcome to look at any part of it. We're going to have volunteers as well to answer any of your questions. We also have a CGPME table at the back if you'd like to join CGPME. We'll be doing a draw at the end of the exhibition on January the 20th for 2 copies of a very popular movie, or documentary I should say, called Five Broken Cameras. So please fill out your contact cards at the back on the table. There's also lots of information about CGPME. If you're interested in joining the Calgary team of CGPME or just following the organization more generally, please visit that table or come and speak to me personally. We'd love to hear your feedback about this, so please do come and let us know. A lot of us volunteers and organizers will be walking around and just getting some feedback from you about what you thought about this exhibition. Once again, thank you so much for making it here this evening. As I said, it will be here until January the 20th, so take your time to read it tonight. From a personal experience, and I think this is important to share with people, is when I came last week to go through and read out the entire exhibition, I found it very, very difficult to read the entire exhibition all at once. It is a lot of information, and for some of these sections are going to get very emotional. And it's just a lot of information to take in at once. So make sure you give yourself enough time to tour through. We'll be here until past 9 p.m. tonight, so feel free to stay. There's lots of food and coffee for everybody, so feel free to grab some. If you have any questions, please let any of the volunteers know. And lastly, I'd like to turn the mic to Simon, who'd like to say a few words again.
Thank you, everyone. I just wanted to tell you, whenever we have something like this, such a huge gathering, and just the simple aspect of hanging these things up on these wires, it takes a lot of work. So all of us came here this last week to set this whole thing up. And everything that you see, from the food to the drinks to having all these people here, is all attributed to a very young person who's kind of dedicated her whole life in getting this passion of peace and justice, this passion of non-violently, asking for the independence of our nation. That's Alla Hamza. But at the end, you literally need, pennies to put all this up. And you heard that it takes $75,000 to make this exhibition happen. You want it to be going everywhere. You want that competition to keep on happening. So I would really encourage you to fill up a donation card, even if it is $10 you can afford, or $100. Please go ahead and help us out. Thank you so much. Thank you all.
Okay, well, I already made my conclusion that once again, thank you all for coming here this evening. We'll be around to answer any of your questions, and I really hope you enjoy the exhibition. Thank you.
I'm going to ask the university professor some questions. Pardon me? I'm going to go ask the university professor some questions.
Yeah, I want to come over. Let's go. I want to hear it.
Excuse me, sir. Go ahead. That's all right. I have a couple questions. Why do you consider... I'm Ryan Belrose. Nice to meet you. My name's Ryan Belrose. I'm Métis from the area.
Oh, yeah.
What makes Palestinians indigenous? You use the word indigenous in conjunction with Palestinians several times. So I'm just curious, how do they meet the criteria?
Because they've lived in Palestine for hundreds, thousands of years.
Okay, so living somewhere for a long time makes someone indigenous.
That's one of the criteria.
Okay,
now,
so if they
what is your problem?
Okay, no, my question...
Obviously, you're upset about something.
Yeah, I am, because you see, so I'm Métis, right?
Yeah.
My people are not indigenous to this area, but we are indigenous to the Red River.
Okay.
Now,
You're one of the indigenous peoples
exactly.
of Canada.
So the thing is, and this is kind of, it's something that's bothered me for a long time, is that when you claim that someone can become indigenous just by living somewhere for a long time without meeting any of the other criteria, it delegitimizes my rights.
No. I'm not using it in that sense. Don't put words in my mouth.
So then what other things make
my
Palestinians
specialty
indigenous?
is looking at the question of apartheid in South Africa.
Okay.
And
but
I'd say,
by speaking about Palestinians and indigenous status,
one can say
you're inserting yourself there. Like this is the issue I'm having right now.
No.
You don't believe that you're insinuating yourself into the conflict by saying the Palestinians are indigenous?
I'm saying the Palestinians are indigenous to Palestine.
Okay. And
they're the indigenous people compared to the later settler people of Israelis.
Okay. So
see
the fact
this map here?
Yeah, I've seen the map. Yeah.
No, but
absolutely.
have you taken note of it?
I absolutely have. Now, if the Jewish people are settlers, who lived there before the Palestinians? Who lived in the area known as the Palestinian Mandate before the Palestinians?
The Palestinians have lived there for hundreds, thousands of years.
Okay, so when the Arabs conquered the entire Middle East in the 7th century, and this is a matter of history, they conquered the entire region.
No.
Yes. That's a matter of history. This is not.
You want to know
this is not opinions.
You want to know
this is
who
fact.
deported who crushed the first states of Israel and Judah and so on?
The Romans. Yeah. Now, but the thing is, in the 7th century is when the Arabs showed up. They conquered the entire region.
No. Muslims.
No, Arabs. Arab Muslims from the Hijaz, which is the Arabian Peninsula.
No.
It's okay, so you're saying that they didn't conquer the entire region.
I'm saying that you're wrong to stop saying that the Arabs came in at that time.
Okay, I have a question. Where did you get your history degree? Now I'm curious.
I have an honors BA first class from the University of Calgary.
Pardon me?
I have an honors BA
in
first class in political science.
And political science.
From the University of Calgary.
All right, and where did you get your history
I am a Commonwealth scholar.
Okay.
To the UK.
Okay.
Where I did my master's at the School of Oriental and African Studies.
Okay.
Of the University of London. I did my PhD in political science, comparative politics, Africa, at the University of Toronto.
Okay.
I was a PhD fellow of the International Development Research Center.
I'm not saying you don't have qualifications to talk about political science.
I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
Okay, and I have been at one rank or the other a professor of political science at the University of Calgary for the past 37 years.
Okay.
How about you?
I'm from Paddle Prairie. I have no degrees in this at all. So why is it that I know more about Middle Eastern history than you, and you're here talking about Palestinian indigenous rights?
No.
That's embarrassing.
Could I ask a question?
Are you a Zionist supporter?
Absolutely, I am a Zionist. I believe in the rights of indigenous people to settle their own lands.
Right, okay. I know who you are now, Belrose. So now I know who you are. Right? You're here to provoke and cause problems.
I'm here to talk. That's why I'm letting you speak. I asked you some questions.
Good luck.
All right.
You go ahead and support the Zionists as they steal the land from the Palestinians.
I will support the Zionists as they return to their ancestral lands and settle there as the indigenous people. You have yourself a good day.
Did you ever read the Bible?
Did you ever read Martinez Cobo?
Try and read the Bible.
Martinez Cobo. That's all I got to say.
Hi, I'm Arthur Clark.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Yeah, I just wanted to introduce myself as well. Nahid Gilani.
Nice to meet you.
I've read some of your comments. Arthur Clark. How do you do? Nice to meet you.
That's kind of embarrassing that the guy's a university professor and he doesn't know about the Muslim conquest in the 7th century.
The question that
it's a little bit weird.
Is related.
You might know about it, it's just not the context to get into.
I know, but it's absolutely.
All most concerned with.
What's going on in Europe right now?
No, human well-being.
Oh, okay.
So if we take, we're all human beings. So if we start from that point and we look at human history, there's lots of evidence that we're inflicting pathology on each other.
Absolutely.
So the idea, for example, that it's okay, and there's an important framework here, which is international law.
Yeah, absolutely.
And at the end of World War II, which is a very good example of humans inflicting pathology on each other.
Absolutely.
The United Nations Charter said, let's just stop this. And they set up ways that even given the state system where there's state sovereignty and it's nationalism has an us versus them dimension to it.
Always.
On the one hand, nationalism can do good things. So if you and I are in the same nation and we salute the flag and we're all together and so on, there's some good that's involved in that. But then if we turn around and we say that we're against those guys over there, then that's when the pathology starts.
Yeah.
So the thing that I'm really interested in and that I'd like to initiate a discussion with everybody about is how do we get out of this pathology that we are inflicting on each other as human beings?
Absolutely.
That's my big question.
I think 90% of the problem we have is we can't agree on a starting point. That's why there really is no serious dialogue. Let's be honest. If we ever managed to sit down and agree on the basic facts, I'd be shocked, but that would probably be the fastest way to get a dialogue going.
Well, but I think that you and I could do that. It's not all that difficult. You're an intelligent person. I can tell that from just listening to you. And
we can agree to disagree on some things, but we can dialogue, and maybe that will be the way forward.
Here's my card. Are there two there? They're brand new, so they stick together. What's that?
Yeah, sorry, I never caught. It's Nahid.
Nahid, yeah.
No. Looking for a piece of plastic in this wallet. I go to the Shoppers Drug.
And just so you know, I'm not trying to.
So anyway, and your name is?
My name's Ryan Belrose.
Ryan, hi. Nice to meet you. Yeah, can we sit down? It's kind of noisy, but we can also get in touch later.
I was going to say, I've got your card, and I'll definitely give you a call.
Because what I'd like to do, we could have coffee if I can get your contact information.
Absolutely.
And I'd love to have coffee with you and really start a dialogue, a serious dialogue to how do we get beyond this. I tell people that, oh, fantastic, okay. Well, this is wonderful, okay. Calgary United with Israel, Canadians for Human Rights in the Middle East. Excellent. Okay, so that's great. Okay, so I will get in touch with you about the possibility of having coffee either in January or February.
Sure. Yeah.
And I should mention that I'm doing this with a lot of other people with